Okay, so um, for control structure so far, we've done if statements, right? We've done these types of if statements on this side where we control whether or not we do something. So there's another type of control structure called loops, which control whether or not we do something and how many times we do it. So there are two types of loop, the while loop and the for loop. So first, we're going to do while. So while the statement that you put here, while this statement is true, you're going to keep doing everything in there until something in the code makes that not true. So let's keep with x. We're entering an integer. All right. So while x is less than 12, all right, we're going to print x. So when I run this, right, if I enter 15, you just get your number is 15 and nothing happens. But if I enter 11, it's going to keep running this forever and ever because x is less than 12. It's stuck on this print and nothing else will happen. So I have to hit this stop. We need to change something here. So every time we print x, we're going to increase it by 1. So I enter 2. We get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once it's increased to 12, we stop and we get out to the end. Let's just put something the end so we know that the loop's done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If I want to include 12, I'd have to do equals to. Now I can do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, the end. Okay. So that's how a while loop would work. Now, if I want to do a for loop, okay, we're going to go, it works the same way, but we don't need to do this increment thing. A for loop will automatically increment by 1 each time. So I can just say each number in the range up until 12. Okay. We're going to print that number. So I don't even need, this doesn't work though with like x, right? Because I have to use a character here. Now this can be anything. It doesn't have to be num. Num just makes sense. See, so after the end, we get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this will only print whatever this token is. So I don't have to call this num. I can call it something else, right? Let's print the end, and then we'll print at the end again. Don't have to call it number. I can call it something else, and it'll always print that, okay? But the issue I have here is I want this loop to fully replicate this loop. So right now we enter x, we enter 3 for x, and we get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And let's actually make this less than. So that would stop at 11, actually. We get the end, but this one always starts at 0. So if I want something to start at a certain number, I put my range, what it starts at, what it ends at. Now these would be identical. So this goes 3 to 11, the end, and then it's just not printing again for some reason. Let's go again. Token in range x. Okay. So the issue I have here is that x changes into 12. All right. So then it's never running. So just to replicate this, all we're going to do is my integer is x, and then we're going to also make y equal to x. And then we're just going to use y here instead of x. So now when I enter 3, I get 3 up to 11 in the end, and then 3 up to 11. So those two work the same. Now, this while loop can run, we can add a condition. This side has to be true, and Apple has to be true. Otherwise, it's not going to run. And this part is not true. So I'd have to make this and not apple in order to run. Or oops, let me run this again with a smaller number. And now both of them run. Okay, so the next thing is this doesn't, we don't have to just use numbers for loops. So most of the time, I'm going to use a for loop for this. Okay. So actually, let's run this while, let's do this as a for loop for number in range 12. So we're just going to go, or actually, we're going to make this a bit easier, in range 3. So we're going to enter 3 numbers. X equals enter a number, print your number as that. And then I'm going to make a list. I'm going to make an empty list up here. It's equal to nothing. Or we just want to run this 3 times. Actually, I want this to be a string. I just realized. So S is going to equal, please enter a string. Okay. Okay, your string is S, and then we're going to take list and append S to it. So now we're going to print our list when we're done, just to see what it is. Okay, so I can enter hello. This should ask it 3 times. Okay, now let's do apple. Okay, your string is apple. And then if I do koala, we make a list. So we're using this to loop and make a list. So now we can print it here. But let's say I want to loop through each thing. I can go for each item in the list. I can just print out each item. All right, hello world, koala, orange. So now we get our list here. But when I loop through, I print each thing out nicer. And then inside here, I can do some type of thing. I can say if item is equal to koala, I can say something else, print. This is a bear. All right. So if I go hello world, I go mango, I go koala. We're looping through hello, mango, koala, and then this is a bear. If I just do this is a loop, we get this is a for loop, but it never prints out this is a bear because we don't get down to it. So that's how you would use, that's basically all you need for loops. If I move over though to this example that we had, there's an issue here with this code that can be fixed with loops. So this all works perfectly if the user enters something correctly. So we're asking here chocolate, vanilla, or twist. And this will work for both uppercase and lowercase since I put this little dot upper here. But what if they enter something that's not chocolate, vanilla, or twist? What if they try to enter strawberry? All right, we're going to keep going through this code. We're going to add a waffle, and then we break because flavor price never gets defined because none of these are equal to strawberry. So we want to restrict what can be inputted here. So in order to do that, we're going to run what we call a validation loop. So the first part of that is we need a Boolean valid. It's going to be false. The default is going to be the input is false. I'm actually running it in the wrong spot though. So valid equals false, okay? And we're going to run this loop while not valid, while the Boolean variable valid is false. So while the code is not valid, see, it makes it intuitive. So while not valid, we're going to ask for the flavor. Now we're going to go if this flavor, right? We're going to see if it's equal to C, or if the flavor is equal to vanilla, or if it's equal to twist. Okay. If it is, we are simply going to say valid equals true to get out of this loop. So this is going to keep running while the valid variable is false. If you enter something correct, we want to get out of it. But if they don't, we're going to print an error message. Error, invalid input. Try again. So let's see how this works now. So which would you like, chocolate, vanilla, or twist? Say I try to enter strawberry. Error, invalid input, just try again. I could also say, I could also go here and put flavor is invalid input to make it more intuitive. So now when I put straw, straw is invalid input, try again. If I put chocolate, we move on. So this is going to be this. So now we want our scoops to be 1, 2, or 3. So for this, we're going to reset our variable, make our valid false again. We're going to again go while not valid. All right. We're going to ask for how many scoops. Let's indent this. So if scoops is greater than 0, and less than 4, so okay, let's rewrite this so we can do it all in one. So if scoops is in between 0 and 4, so that's 1, 2, or 3, we're going to set valid equals true. Else print invalid input, try again. So now let's go again. I would like yellow. Yellow is invalid. Let's try chocolate. Let's say I want 4. Invalid input, try again. I want nothing. Try again. I want negative scoops. Try again. But 2 will let us go down to dish. So this is our last part. We'll do this one more time. Valid is going to equal false. While not valid, I'm going to ask for our dish. If dish is equal to W, or dish is equal to full, valid equals true, else print error. So now we should be able to fully run this without the user being able to enter anything invalid. So orange, not a flavor, chocolate. 56, not a valid amount of scoops. Let's try 2. We can't put it in a sugar cone. Can't put it in S for sugar cone, but I can put it in waffle. And now we get our total price and our code works, even though they entered. So this will work infinite amount of times. No matter how many times you enter something wrong, if I keep entering F, I enter E, it'll keep saying error up until I finally enter vanilla, something that's right. So validation is a very practical use of loops. I hope this gives you everything you need for that.